Are you tired of risky and inefficient Jasmium runs that end in disaster? You spend ages gearing up, you fly all the way out to the most godforsaken corner of Hagga Basin, and 20 minutes later you're staring at a respawn screen with an empty inventory. Killed by an invisible threat you couldn't even fight. It's beyond frustrating, but what if I told you there's a way to turn that all around? In this video, I'm going to be showing you the ultimate solo loot run that will have you filling your inventory with high value Jasmium and extracting safely, time and time again. This isn't some theoretical hope for the best path. This is a repeatable, methodical, and hyper efficient strategy designed for solo players who want to maximize their gains and minimize their risk. Forgetting the guesswork, this is the only Jasmium guide you'll need. But first, a quick message from our video sponsor. If you need some in-game services for Dune Awakening like Solari and other hard to acquire items you simply don't have the time to grind for, then check out MMOPixel.com. It's highly effective, has safe transactions, and delivery is instant. And don't forget to use code KilroyPlays at checkout to receive a further 5% off your entire order. Now back to the video. Now, let's not sugarcoat it. Jasmium is your ticket to the endgame. You need mountains of it to craft Duralinium, and Duralinium is in everything that matters. Higher tier armor, powerful weapons, advanced vehicle parts, and the big spice refineries that will get you rich. But the game designers didn't make it easy. Jasmium is found exclusively in one place, Shoal. It's a hyper irradiated death trap in the bottom left hand corner of the Hagga Basin map, a place designed to kill you slowly and expensively. Now, most players go in blind. They fly their ornithopter around aimlessly, land in the hottest radiation zones, and then try and grab whatever they can before their suit gives out. They die before their inventory is even half full, or worse, they find a decent patch but have no efficient way to haul it back to base. Now, making dozens of these dangerous trips for what should have been one single profitable run, but guess what? That all ends today. I'm going to solve that for you. We're going to approach this not as a desperate scramble, but as a calculated operation. However, before you even think about setting foot in Shoal, we need to talk preparation. Going in with the wrong gear is a guaranteed failure. First and most importantly is your suit. You absolutely, positively must have a radiation suit Mark IV at a bare minimum. Now, this isn't a suggestion, it's a requirement for entry. The Mark IV suit provides a massive 90+% radiation mitigation, which is the baseline for surviving in Shoal for more than a few seconds. Now, if you can get your hands on a Mark V, even better, but the Mark IV is your ticket to the dance. It's crafted with aluminum ingots, plasteel microflora fiber, and silicon blocks, so get crafting. Do not leave your base without this suit, please. Next up, your tool. The only thing that can crack open a Jasmium node is an industrial Cutter Mark IV or better. Don't even try it with a lower tier, it simply won't work. The better the Cutter, the more resources you'll get from each node, so a Mark V or Mark VI is a fantastic upgrade if you guys have the schematics, but not all of the Jasmium chunks will be available for the Buggy to laser, so for some of this run you will have to manually laser chunks, but yeah, it's up to you. It just depends how much you want to get out of this. Now, another thing I would 110% highly recommend you guys starting up is the Planetologist quest line as soon as possible and start being able to unlock the skills from that skill tree. And why, you might ask, is because it not only increases your personal Cutter mining yields by 20%, but also your vehicle's Cutter by 20%. So if you can get them both to level 3, it's insanely game changing. So the sooner you do these quests for the Planetologist, the better your mining yields will be across the board. Now, for the real secret to efficiency, the piece of equipment that separates the amateurs from the pros is your vehicle. Now, we're bringing in a Buggy. An ornithopter is great for getting to Shoal, but the Buggy is what makes this run truly legendary. Why, you may ask? Its massive storage capacity lets us haul everything we need in a single trip. We're taking multiple times the cargo space of even an assault ornithopter, so keep this in mind. Finally, consumables. Now, you can bring iodine pills for a small 3% boost in radiation mitigation, but honestly, with this route and this setup, you probably won't even need them. We're going to be going so fast and efficient that our Buggy will be full long before our radiation levels become a critical threat. So, here's a pro tip that a lot of players miss. Stop trying to run Jasmium farms from your main base. The travel time alone kills your efficiency. We're going to fix that by establishing a forward operating base or FOB. So, take a look at the map. You see that massive, angry radiation zone of Shoal? We're going to be building a tiny, minimalist outpost right on the, edge of that zone. It doesn't matter whether it's the northern edge, the bottom edge, it doesn't matter. Just find a place where you like on the outskirts of the radiation zone and build a nice little base. Doesn't have to be fancy, just a single foundation with a spawn point and a few storage chests is all you need. Now, this outpost is a game changer. It serves as our staging area and our drop-off point, and this is where we'll start our runs from. Now, when our buggy is loaded with Jasmium, we'll drive it back here and unload everything safely. Now, it's up to you what you do with this base. You can choose to make your duralinium here, which will require a lot more work on the base, making water supplies and getting the iron ingots here. Or you can just do what I do and store all my Jasmium here and then fly it back to my base using my ornithopter. Well, back to my main base, that is, so I don't have to mess around too much with another big base setup. Now, the good thing to note is with this loot run is the fact that you will only have to do this once or twice depending on your needs. Jasmium has a 3:1 crafting ratio, so 3000 Jasmium is 1000 duralinium, which for most players will be more than enough to set you up with the best endgame gear before heading out into the deep desert. Alrighty guys, so we're geared up at our forward operating base on the border of Shoal. It's time to execute. I call this route the Golden Path because it's safe, logical, and incredibly profitable loot that focuses on the best resource caches while avoiding the most obvious death traps. So, from our outpost, we're driving straight north because it just depends where your freaking base is. Personally, I had it at the bottom edge of the map, so as far south as I can go. I'm nearing the outskirts of the Hagga Basin map. There's like a little area that I have my home base on. Now, this is where I think the guide differs from person to person. If you have some of the best buggy cut array equipment, like I'm talking like tier 5 and 6, and you have the planetologist 20% extra mining yield, don't bother with the caves nearby. Just head straight to the acid pools. They have between 3 and 5 Jasmium crystal nodes, and you can get upwards of like 330 with a Mark 5 buggy cut array. It is insane. So you don't need to piss around with going to the caves. However, if you don't have the best gear, like you only have the bare minimum buggy cut array, you don't have the planetologist quest line, and you only have, like, again, the bare minimum personal cut array as well, I would personally hit up the caves. So you can hit up Greed Cave, Wrath, and Shaitan's Grotto. They all have a few. Greed, I think, has the lowest amount of Jasmium nodes compared to all the caves. Shaitan's Grotto is good. It has about 3 to 5. Same with Wrath. So it's up to you guys. Personally, I think you get enough from the buggy cut array. If you hit up all the acid pools, you're getting anywhere between like 4, 5, 6,000 Jasmium crystals on like a single run. So yeah, it's entirely up to you, and I think it does personally depend on what kind of gear you're running. So, whether you're just hitting up the acid pools, or you're hitting up the acid pools, the caves, and scouring the surface for Jasmium, your inventory should be bursting. The buggy is now packed to the roof with Jasmium crystals, and maybe even a unique schematic is also burning a hole in your pocket. But now is not the time to get greedy, it's time to go home. Retrace your steps following the same path we took on our way in, skirting the craters and heading directly back to our FOB. This is the most critical phase of the run. You are now at the most vulnerable because you have the most to lose. Resist the urge to check out one last point of interest, just drive straight back to your outpost and secure your loot. Alrighty guys, so let's quantify exactly what we just accomplished. So in my personal single safe run of less than 20 minutes, I have gathered upwards of 6,250 Jasmium crystals, which fully maxed out my buggy's inventory, and I only went to the acid pools. I didn't bother mining from the caves with my personal cut array, nor around the hills, because there's like a few little acid pools scattered around like the top of hills. I didn't bother with those single units. We just mined the 3 to 5 acid pool nodes with my buggy cut array Mark 5, 6,250 Jasmium crystals, which is enough raw material to craft roughly 2,083 duralinium ingots. Now, this is a massive leap forward for anyone. If this is literally your first and last run. That's all you need. That's your next set of armor. That's advanced weapons. That's literally your large spice refinery. Any new vehicle, like literally anything. And that's not counting the uniques and other materials we've looted along the way. All of this in one trip with minimum risk. Now, this isn't just a loot run. It's a complete strategy. It's a system that transforms one of the most dangerous and frustrating farming tasks in Dune Awakening into a safe, repeatable, and wildly profitable assembly line. The forward operating base minimizes your travel risk, and whether or not you choose to go through all the caves like Greed and Shaitan's Grotto to get the single nodes with your personal cut array, or you just choose like myself to mine the acid pool 3 to 5 clusters using your Buggy cut array, this maximizes your loot, and the Buggy ensures you can do all of that with unmatched efficiency. Alrighty, so if this guide helped you out, be sure to do me a massive favor and crush that like button. It really helps the channel, and make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on for more deep dive guides just like this one. Now, I want to hear more from you. Drop a comment below and let me know. Do you have a different Jasmium route that you swear by? What's the single best item you've ever pulled from the Unique's chest in Shaitan's Grotto? Share your knowledge with the community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.